You may have heard of this song before while you were scrolling on a social media platform or looking at some memes. This song, a remix of Young Girl A, has been used in a lot of content that's typically trying to exaggerate a struggle someone is going through while enforcing the idea of never giving up. But have you ever wondered who could have made a song that gives us such a emotional message? And would it shock you if I told you that if you not only understood the lyrics of Young Girl A, but also a majority of its creator's portfolio, you'd lose that never give up mentality in a heartbeat? The creator of the popular song has had many aliases, but his most popular ones are Sinamota, or as some others like to pronounce it, Shinamota, Pao Pao, and Furukawa Noro. His real name, however, is Mizoguchi Ryo. Mizoguchi was born on March 9th, 1995, and sadly passed away on July 23rd, 2015. Mizoguchi was fascinated with music from a young age and started making DTM when he was 14 years old as a way to cope with his mental illness. He began uploading his Vocaloid songs in 2009 on the Japanese music sharing site Nico Nico. If you're wondering what Vocaloid is, it's basically a music genre that consists of having characters like Hatsune Miku or Kagamen Ren sing your song lyrics. Side note, I was actually very surprised Hatsune Miku was basically just an AI idol. I thought she was Japan's default anime girl if someone needed to promote or sell something with an anime girl. Anyways, back to our topic. Sometime after Mizoguchi started to compose music, his songs were beginning to get some traction online, but instead of capitalizing on that, amid his popularity, according to the source which I got this information from, he went on a temporary break from uploading songs from January 2011 to May 30th, 2011. And that might be true, but on his wiki page, he did upload 3 different songs during his break. So take some of the information I say in this video with a grain of salt, since Mizoguchi was a very private person when it came to his life, and there isn't a lot of information known when it comes to the behind the scenes of his music career. Around 2011 to 2012, Mizoguchi quit high school, and in 2012, when he was just 16 to 17 years old, Mizoguchi joined the record label Ginga and released the album Yumi no Mani Mani on July 30th, 2012. During this time, Mizoguchi was getting a lot of attention because of his music. His most notable work at the time was Q. He apparently even had appearances on TV and did live performances according to the source, which I couldn't confirm since I didn't find anything about Mizoguchi doing either. But to be fair, these appearances and live performances would have been done around the early 2010s and in Japan on top of that. So the cases of anyone recording his TV appearances or live shows and publishing them online are very slim, since they were at a time when no one was doing that, and even if they were, Shinamota wouldn't have been a big enough name at the time to warrant the effort of recording these appearances and shows, especially in Japan, a country infamous for not allowing anyone to record almost anywhere. It is very impressive though how Mizoguchi was able to produce so many of his own albums before and after he joined Ginga, such as Alive, Seppai Record, Ulterior, Setsuna Pop, Powa Po Works, Awardstrobe Hello, and many more. Mizoguchi was directly involved with creating more than 100 songs in his short time as a Vocaloid artist and producer. He was growing a sizable fandom in Japan for his unique Vocaloid songs and was well on his way to becoming a big name, not just in Japan, but maybe overseas as well. This, however, never happened. On March 4th, 2015, a music video titled Goodbye Everyone was released on the Universal Music and Arts YouTube channel. which is another record label other than Ginga that Mizoguchi worked with. This music video, which I will go more in depth on later in the video, contained a lot of what fans interpreted to be suicidal messaging from Mizoguchi. But to ease the worries of fans, Shinamoto released a statement saying, "Hello, this is Shinamoto. The title is a silly mistake. I'm still alive and making music." 2 months after that, Mizoguchi released his final song, Please Give Me a Red Pen, on July 23rd, 2015. On that same day, it was discovered that Mizoguchi passed away. The cause of death was never disclosed, however, due to the nature of his final song and the one before it, and Mizoguchi's last final tweets on the same day. At 2:28 p.m. he tweeted, "He said that because I've grown up, I've lost my charm. I'm not supposed to grow up, they say." And his last tweet, published on 12:59 p.m. said, "If you're gonna do it, do it. I'll do it." Those were his last words. There was no denying it. The evidence was too clear. Mizoguchi Ryo died due to suicide. Now, to explain why Mizoguchi decided to commit suicide, I'm going to break down his last songs, which can be considered as his suicide notes. But since the lyrics of the songs are very disturbing, and understand when I say that they are disturbing, it made me, a guy who was unfazed while watching that scene in the first episode of The Boys' 3rd season, completely speechless and unable to sleep that day. So if you don't think that you can handle going through what's essentially Mizoguchi Ryo's suicide notes, skip to the time code that's being shown on the screen. But if you can go through it, then get ready and take a seat. The first song I decided to break down was the one I consider to be his actual suicide note. The suicide note written by Mizoguchi Ryo. It was a mistake that it was the first one I decided to break down, since I was unprepared for what I was about to see. Because of that mistake, I didn't properly write down which specific lyrics I was breaking down. I only wrote what I interpreted. And because of how much the song disturbed me, I refused to listen to it again and go through the process of breaking it down again, but going through lyric by lyric this time. This song was the song that made me unable to sleep, and I'm not ready to go through that again when summer break is over and I can't just ruin my sleep schedule for a video when I have classes to attend. And because of that, for Please Give Me a Red Pen, I will only be sharing the notes I took for the song, rather than providing a full lyric by lyric breakdown like I will be doing so for the next song. So with that out of the way, let's begin. In Please Give Me a Red Pen, we gain an understanding of the way Mizoguchi views the world and his life. He views his life as being nothing but bad event after bad event. He thinks that nothing is real, that life isn't just fake, but that it doesn't mean anything more than a drama does. Mizoguchi knows that what he's about to do is horrible, but it can be justified because he believes his life has no meaning. He also claims that he can't live up to the standards set by a friend of his who he claims to be gone now. Mizoguchi is tired of indulging in this fake drama, and according to his lyrics, he's going to take a time out from it. He compares his life to a red pen drawing a straight line from the top of a piece of paper all the way to its bottom. He sees that the red pen has reached its end, which signifies his end. And like drawing a circle, he feels like if he lets the red pen's line continue, he will just be repeating this fake drama, and that it, like a circle, will have no end. Mizoguchi wants to refill his pen. He wants to start over with his life, but he doesn't want to continue the line that he is already drawing. He wants a new circle that he can keep on drawing. But he knows that he can't just get rid of the pre-existing line and start a new one, so he's going to stop drawing any lines altogether. I view this song as Mizoguchi summarizing up his life. He gives us what he views his life as, how he feels about it, and what he wishes he could change. I think he makes it clear that he doesn't want to die. He doesn't hate life in general. He just hates his life. And even with his views on the world, being nothing more than a fake drama. He wishes that he could participate in it with a fresh new slate, but that doesn't matter because he knows he can't just have a new slate, a new circle. So instead of continuing the one that he has now, he would rather just end it. That's everything I could personally interpret from the song, and some of the interpretations I saw online from other people who viewed the song. And since I have nothing more to add, on to the next one. The one I view as Mizoguchi trying to settle his affairs. Goodbye everyone. The goodbye letter.
1, 2, 3, 4.
From the beginning of the song, we can see a big contrast between it and Shinamoto's other songs. It starts off with Mizoguchi himself counting down before the song starts. This is the first time we ever hear his voice in any of the songs, and the way it's presented is so upbeat and happy. The song seems so vibrant and optimistic now that Mizoguchi finally has something good to look forward to in his life. Its end. Just a refresher, this colorful song is the one that caused what was probably Mizoguchi's record label, Ginga, to release the statement I mentioned earlier about Shinamoto still being alive and making music. And now that Shinamoto has something to look forward to in his life, the song is presented in a positive manner. People whose lives have been nothing but bad event after bad event and who have been struggling with suicidal tendencies for a while are set to finally be happy or at peace after committing to the decision that they are going to end their life. They feel like they finally have something to look forward to, that they have something to be happy about, what they view to be the end of their misery. In one of Shinamoto's earlier released songs in his career, Ohio, he speaks of a toy that he lost, a toy that was precious to him, and in Goodbye Everyone, the song starts off with, "The toy I wanted was in my grasp. I broke and repaired it over and over again." Now, could this toy be his music, which his parents may have tried to take away? He does say in Ohio that his parents took away his toy, and if you remember, Mizoguchi wasn't fascinated with actual toys when he was young. He was fascinated with music. Maybe he's trying to use the analogy of a toy to represent his music. It does line up, especially with the part of him saying, "was in my grasp." After all, he did achieve his goal of becoming a musician, and maybe he's referring to breaking and repairing it over and over again with the many times he rebranded himself. Or maybe the toy is the friend he lost. He does claim of losing a friend in Please Give Me a Red Pen, so maybe the analogy of a toy is for that friend. But I don't think that's likely since he was using this toy analogy before he became a professional Vocaloid artist and got to meet other artists like him who could set the standard he claims his friend to have set. The affection of the girl I wanted. I glanced away and gazed back, over and over. Why am I always taking the same kind of punches? Why was I with you? The description of glancing away and gazing back over and over again, only to then take the same kind of punch, matches perfectly with the description of what happened to the as before mentioned toy in the song Ohio. In that song, he said that he'd glance away and gaze back at it, only for it to be gone. Maybe the toy was this girl he had feelings for, but for some reason she was taken from him, and he couldn't get over that. Floating away is never anything but the worst. As in, suicide is never seen as anything other than the worst thing one can do. And yet, his response to that is, "But I guess I'm happy." He knows what he's about to do is bad, but he can't help but be happy about it. And he's ready to gulp it down, it which was never anything but sleeping pills to him. After all, life is nothing more than a fake drama, nothing more than a dream. Walking down a horrible and abnormal road, doing nothing but covering it up somehow by putting it into song. Mizuguchi claims that his music has been him trying to cover up his trauma by turning it into song rather than confronting it head on, and high from that with a pitiful appearance expresses how he's tired from doing that and pities himself for having done so. Moving on is nothing but a convenient excuse for adults. So what are kids supposed to do? Questioning it's because you're an adult. But when did I become an adult exactly? Mizuguchi is expressing how he still feels like a kid, even when everyone refers to him as an adult. And because of that, he feels like a weight was put on his shoulders and he has to grow up and keep moving like the rest of the adults are. Why, oh why won't these tears stop? Why do we all die someday? In the song, Mizuguchi has repeatedly asked this question. It shows how he doesn't truly understand what's causing his sadness to continue, and that he's questioning the point of life since, at the end of it all, we all die someday. My body grows. That day I let go of you. Yeah, I guess I was happy. Mizuguchi is letting go of his body, of his growth, and he's expressing his happiness to do so. Knocking on the door. Every day, I'm waiting for tomorrow, but I know that today, that will all draw to a close. Mizuguchi's chores are done. His dream will end soon. So those were Mizuguchi's last songs that he wrote and released himself. Except for the fact that I'm lying right now. Well, not really. Goodbye Everyone and Please Give Me a Red Pen were the last songs Shinamoto wrote and released himself while he was still alive. But his actual last song was released by a close friend of his 2 months after Mizuguchi passed away. This close friend, Yuma Saito, completed a music video for the song, which Mizuguchi entrusted him to do before he took his own life. The music video was released on September 23rd, 2015, and the song was titled Healthy End. If I were to consider Please Give Me a Red Pen as the summary of Mizuguchi's life, and Goodbye Everyone as the roadway to its end, then I would consider Healthy End as not just the end, but a reassurance from Mizuguchi as to why it happened. During the summer, I kept saying I didn't want to live, but I never meant it as I want to be dead. That's what I had thought until now. From Mizuguchi's first line, we can already interpret that he's trying to tell us that he didn't want to die, but that instead he was tired of living. This lines up perfectly with his previous songs about how he saw life as just a dream or fake drama, something which he was getting bored of, and my previous interpretations of his views on life. How he wanted to continue life, but with a new slate, with a new circle, like he said in Please Give Me a Red Pen. He didn't want to die, he wanted a new start. Looking back on it now, it truly was beautiful. As beautiful as the sky turning to the ground. Who would have thought of performing this way, singing? Even if your motivation was sad, you can still change it. Mizuguchi is expressing how he looks fondly back on his work, and he is amazed by how he got to perform using Vocaloid, how he got to sing with a voice that wasn't his own, and how he got to have an impact with the singing and send out a positive message. All sorts of people are holding me back. Can't face it, can't face it. It feels like I can go somewhere far away. As Mizuguchi is saying these words, the astronaut who has been representing him is now looking at a tree. This can symbolize how, from his perspective, he will start a new journey. This can be interpreted because of how trees are known to be symbols of new beginnings or new life. But the only thing that is stopping Mizuguchi is all sorts of people which he can't face anymore. The things that I couldn't see before are now suddenly visible. Why didn't I notice? But it's too late now. Looking back at his life, so much became clear to Mizoguchi. Details that went unnoticed by him and that he missed are suddenly so obvious, but it doesn't matter. It's too late now. Nothing can be done about those details, and Mizoguchi accepted that fact. It hurts. The goodbyes lingered on. My last words. My last words. No matter what they say, no one will hold me back. I will move on towards the applause. He bid his overdue goodbyes, and his last words will forever convey how no matter what anyone said, his mind was set, and this is the end of his drama. And what happens after the end of a drama? The applause. Because of Mizoguchi's last 3 songs, we not only know why he felt the need to end his life, but what led to it, and how he felt about it. But Healthy End only conveyed the end for Mizoguchi Ryo's journey, not Shinamoto's. On July 24th, 2019, Shinamoto's record label, Ginga, released a new album titled Therefore. It was full of Mizoguchi's unreleased songs and other songs that he didn't finish. The unfinished songs didn't have the Vocaloids singing his lyrics. Instead, Mizoguchi himself sang them. It's unknown whether his singing in the songs was just a placeholder until he could replace them with a Vocaloid, or if he intended to transition into songs sung by him before he decided to commit suicide. And on March 9th, 2023, the Universal Music and Arts label released a remix of Young Girl A titled Young Girl A and Day After Another. So even after Mizoguchi's unfortunate passing, he really did leave an impact on the world with his unique Vocaloid music, which continues the legacy of Mizoguchi Ryo. Also, on the same day that he passed away, at 2:12 p.m., he tweeted, "Tomatoes are bad." So, I guess he wanted to make Italians mad before leaving the world. Goodbye.